Hello everyone, and welcome to Accounting 150. It's so good to have you in a class this spring semester, and I just want to use this video to kind of walk you around the course so you're used to how it looks and what needs to happen, so that you're very comfortable finding everything. So I've tried to lay out across the top here of our course page the things that you would need most often. All of the reading, all of the information is in the content, organized by module, by week. So there's a module for each week that you can shortcut to discussions, to the drop boxes. You can see your progress and your grades at any point in the class progress. You can check your grades. This class progress shows not just grades, but also how many things you've completed, all of that kind of stuff. If you need to send an email through the system, that's here as well. And then I want to point out this resources tab over here. If you need help navigating Brightspace, if you need information or more help with Zoom for video conferencing, if you want to look into tutoring, want to get some help, if you want to go to the library and do some research remotely, of course, all of those are available under the resources tab. So if you need tutoring for this class, you can go to this link and you'll be able to see the schedule and how to contact the tutors for accounting. So that's the resources that are available easily on our course site. Now, if we go down a little further, my information is here. My outside of the course email, phone number, and my personal Zoom room, which is what we'll use for office hours, is right here. You can link to that there. The calendar is down here in the corner telling you what's upcoming. I will keep you apprised of what's happening in the news feed, which here is in the middle. It's the most prominent piece of the main page. So let's look at how this content is organized a little bit so that you're familiar with this. Each week has its own module, own thing to go to. They're all organized in the same way. So week 1 is going to have some introduction materials, some to what we're going to learn, some motivation. There's going to be a link to the chapter you're going to be covering. There's going to be a PowerPoint presentation. There's going to be my explanation in a video. There's also going to be answers to all of the questions at the end of the chapter, except for the problems. And I'll explain that a little bit in a minute here. Then there'll be this section with your discussions that we'll be doing during the week, and then the assignments, homework, that sort of thing. So each of your modules will have the same pieces, discussions, assignments, so that it's easy to be laid out and you'll get used to the format. So let's look at the syllabus for a little bit and see. And there's a link right in the news feed to start with to the syllabus. It's also in the introductory learning module. Here you see my office hours. I will be online ready with the Zoom meeting at those times. You can make other times to see me via Zoom if these times do not work. Same information I gave is also on the course site. This gives you the description. Notice we have our textbook is unique in that it is online. If you need to printed, if you want a printed version, there is a link in the introductory module to the PDF version of it. You can print however many or a few pages as you want at home. Okay, this gives you expectations, the tests, just a little bit about what our tests will look like. The midterm will be problem oriented. You'll do it on a spreadsheet. The final will be multiple choice and fill in the blank answers, and you'll have a time limit on the final. You won't on the midterm in terms of the time frame that you can complete it. There'll be some required discussions that you will need to do that. You'll have to post on the discussion board. You'll need to write a complete response, read through carefully the instructions. The first post will be due on Saturdays, the follow-up the following Tuesday. So those information there. There'll be a couple of memos. We'll approach the memos this way. Your first assignment will be to do a rough draft. I will give you feedback, and then you will resubmit to a separate Dropbox the final copy of the memo with taking into consideration any feedback given. The first one, the rough draft, will be graded only for whether it meets the requirements, meaning is it in the memo format, is it cover the appropriate topic, and is it the correct length. So if it fits those and it's on time, you'll get a full 10 points. When I grade the final, I will be looking for presentation, explanation, things like, sources if you use any, and how you cite those. All of those things on the final draft will be considered in grading. So hopefully we'll get all those ironed out in between the rough and the final draft. Later in the semester, we'll put you into groups and we'll work on an ethics project where we will answer some questions, and each group will provide one paper. Homework. Each week there will be homework. These will be found in the textbook. This will be at the end of the chapter. All right, and you'll submit your homework by Saturday, and then you'll be able to see a video explaining my answers to those homework problems, and you'll be able to make corrections and repost. And if you will make those corrections and explain them, and notice that what's in yellow here, the corrections should be in a different color and have some explanation with them. Then if you do that, then you can get 10 points even if you got the original answers incorrect. So there's a calendar here, tells us which weeks we're working on things. We're going straight through. We'll be done before spring break, 7 weeks. And that gives you everything. This is how our grades will be worked out and how I will assign the grades, how many points everything's worth, the makeup policy, withdrawal, so forth. The policies here at the bottom. So that's our syllabus. And if you have questions, we can go back to that. If you have questions along the way, you can also post in our main. If you look at the main, start here. There's an introductory module, and then there is a discussion posting or board for just general class questions. If there's no other place for it. Each module will also have its own discussion posting for just questions about that particular topic. All right, so I want to go to week 1 again and the link to our textbook for chapter 1. So we click on that right in the learning module. You'll see the information comes up, the first section. Okay, 1.1. Now, if you want to go to the next one, it's right here at the bottom of the page, which is, you see, just outside where we have here. You can go to the next one, or you can use the contents and go to the next one as well. All right. So, however you prefer to navigate through your textbook. Now, homework. Each chapter has at the end of the chapter exercises. It will look like this. There will be questions. There will be true false. There will be multiple choice. Okay? Those are not where the homework will come from. That is for you to review your reading. And I have provided with you with all the answers to those questions. So if you are reading the chapter, you get to the end of the chapter, you've read all the sections, and you want to see how you did as far as remembering what you learned, you could use these. You could say, how does a business become a corporation? I've given you in the module a document with the answer to that question, or at least a possible answer to that question. All right? So you can see what you remember about that and then compare it to my answer. You can do the same thing with true false. You can say, okay, do I know enough? Did I remember enough to be able to know that corporations are required by law to pay dividends to their shareholders? And then I can check my answer in that document. This is the same with multiple choice. Now, when it's time to do your homework, the homework will always be in this last section under the problems or research. Well, problems or research. These you will not find the answers to on the document in the module until you have completed the assigned homework. So in the Dropbox will be exactly the homework problems that are assigned. So sometimes you will have to do all of them. Sometimes it will be just one, depending on what the Dropbox says. That's what you will complete. You'll upload it into the Dropbox, and then you'll be able to see my answers so that you can check and make any corrections you need to. So that is how the homework is found and how you find things in the textbook. Each chapter will have, each module will have that same link to the chapter, and the navigation will be the same. You can either use the previous, next on the bottom, or you can use the contents to go skip ahead or whatever. So that's perhaps the trickiest part of what we're going to cover. Remember, there's plenty of places to ask questions. Don't hesitate to ask. Take time during my office hours. Post them on the discussion board so I can answer the same question for everyone. And we will be able to have great success in learning this material if we'll jump in there and participate in that way. We look forward to working with you and can't wait to get to know you a little better.